do we just keep the
Yeah.
conversation going, or?
Yes, absolutely. So,
Okay.
yeah, so let me start by welcoming everybody. We are so happy that you actually could join us for this event. It's a very different event than what the one that we normally do. And we're so happy with the amount of interest that our members have shown us. So let me first start with introducing who we are and what we do. So I'm just going to share my screen now. Yeah, so welcome to VR Pistachio. And I see some familiar faces here and I see some new faces here. So I'm just going to introduce VR Pistachio all over again for the ones who are new. VR Pistachio is a community of relocating spouses built for each other. What we do is we offer upskilling, we offer mentorship, and we offer networking. In the upskilling events that we have PMP certification, we have a pod for data analysts, mentorship. We've just recently launched our second mentorship program. And this is a networking event, and we keep having at least 2 events every single month, and you will get to know what are the upcoming events shortly. So that's a little bit about VR Pistachio. I'm Deepali Paul, and I'm the co-founder of VR Pistachio. And we have Aditi as well on this call, who's the founder and the chief relocating officer for VR Pistachio. And without any further delay, let me introduce you to Nisha Sashidharan. Nisha is a relocating spouse, as many of us on this call. She moved to the US in 2016, first to Wisconsin, and then a couple years later to the greater Seattle area. She has a background in HR. However, like many people have to, she had to kind of, pivot her career. And now she is, makeup is what really interests her. And that's where she wants to build a career. So welcome, Nisha. We're so glad that we have you here. We will give you coordinates of how to follow Nisha. Like I mentioned at the beginning, Nisha is an Instagram influencer. So, for the latest tips and tricks, you can definitely follow her there. But welcome, Nisha, and over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Aditi. Thank you, Dipali. Also, a big thank you to Sindhu, who actually got me introduced to VR Pistachio. And I'm really glad to be a part of this group, which is there to help, relocating spouses who are there to for connecting, for learning, for upskilling. So it's a great opportunity for me to be here and to speak about something that I'm really passionate about, that's makeup. And Dipali, like you mentioned, like in 2016 is where, I relocated to US. And that's where by 2017-18, like my journey with makeup started, wherein I kind of had, like I mentioned, I kind of had severe acne issues and pigmentation issues. And from there onwards, I started understanding, okay, these are the things that I need to take care of when it comes to skin. These are the things that I need to take care of when it comes to makeup. And, from there onwards, the journey started. From there onwards, I went on to Instagram. Instagram is a place where I share a lot of looks, the makeup looks, some tips and tricks, and the current skincare that I use. So yeah, that's a space where I actually share a lot. And that's a space where I want to grow as well. And so without much ado, let's get started with this session, wherein we are going to discuss some of the makeup tips and tricks, and of course skincare, because with the Instagram poll that we did, we got to know that a lot of people are interested into skincare as well. So let's get started. And Pali, can we go to the next slide? Yeah. So what we're going to cover today is we're going to cover the morning routine that I follow, the makeup routine, the evening routine, the skincare routine that I follow, and follow up with any question that you got that you have from questions or concerns that you want to discuss. All right. So to start off with, the morning routine that I follow, is first of all going ahead. And this is something that I'm sure a lot of y'all might be following, because, the CTM that was famous out there, like everyone knows about the CTM, which is cleansing, toning, and moisturizing. That's something that everyone does in their daily routine. But yes, there are certain add-ons that that one needs to follow. And there's this routine is basically, it would just take hardly 10 minutes of your time daily, which I feel that everyone should actually go ahead and follow. So we started with cleansing, which is basically, any kind of products or any debris that we have from the previous night, we need to cleanse it. So, any simple cleanser would do. Like, you don't have to go ahead and invest into, some high-end cleanser, but you can just go ahead and invest into a normal cleanser, like that's available in the drugstore, because anyhow, we are just washing off what's excess on our skin. We are, the cleansing products are not going into the deep layer of your skin. So you basically go ahead and wash off your skin first. Then you go ahead with something that's toning, that's, that removes out any traces of the cleanser that's there on the skin. Or, you basically go ahead and hydrate your skin with a toner. So something that I use as a toner, like I mentioned, that we're going to also discuss some recommendations in this session. A toner would be something like, this is a Tower 28 toner, which is basically a mist that I use to make sure that my skin stays hydrated and it forms a layer on my skin before I go ahead and use any other products. So the next product, like I mentioned, it would be an antioxidant boost, which is basically a vitamin C. Now this could be optional because not necessary, a lot of people want a vitamin C in their skincare routine. But I would say that it's good to actually, for any pigmentation that's there on your skin. It's actually, it works wonders for your skin. So you can use something like a vitamin C. And that's basically, I use the ordinary vitamin C. The brand that I use is the ordinary one. And it's available at Ulta, it's available at Sephora, it has its own page. One can go ahead and order directly from their page. The Ordinary as a brand, if you see, they are quite helpful. You can go ahead and mail your skincare concerns to them, and they can actually provide you with the right products. So that's one brand that you can definitely go ahead and discuss your skincare issues and concerns, and they will kind of help you out with what exact products one needs to use, or which are the products that they recommend. Then of course, one needs to go ahead and do a patch test before you actually jump in and use any kind of products. So it is, I hope you can see, this is the kind of bottle that it comes in, and that's the brand, The Ordinary. This is one brand that I would recommend, and I would want y'all to actually go ahead and read about, or go ahead and understand that there's different kind. We all have different kind of skin, and we all have different kind of skin concerns. Someone might have a pigmentation issue. Someone might have continuous problems with something like pimples, or someone might have excess sebum. So you can actually go ahead and mail them and understand what exactly the product helps you out with, and then you can go ahead and get it from them. So like I said, I use the vitamin C from Ordinary, and that's been helping me out with the pigmentation issues that I have. The next step that I follow is to hydrate my skin with a hyaluronic acid. Now, when I say hyaluronic acid, a lot of y'all might get concerned. Oh, what exactly is a hyaluronic acid? Or does it, the word acid might sound a little intimidating. So, you need not worry about it. It is just something that's there on our, that's already present in our skin. It's something that it's a boost that we give to our skin, wherein it's kind of a gooey product, which might seem like a little sticky at the initial stage, but once you apply it, it kind of retains the water molecules in the skin. So it definitely hydrates your skin. It forms a layer wherein it kind of rehydrates your skin along with the mist that you have used. So you go ahead and use a hyaluronic acid. That's again something, you might have seen that there is a trend right now that every product that's getting launched in the market, be it a moisturizer, be it a mist, be it even sunscreen, there is a specific mention that it includes hyaluronic acid because it hydrates your skin. So all big brands have gone into this particular phase where they have started including the hyaluronic acid. So rather than going ahead and getting confused with any high-end brand, you can again go with Ordinary. It's quite economical, and it like I said, it might seem a little gooey and a little sticky in the initial stage, but don't worry, that's going to give you the hydration, that's going to retain the water parts in your skin, and you definitely would see a difference, once it gets settled down. So again, go ahead with something like the brand, like I mentioned, Ordinary. And to top it off, you can there's the next step that I do is the eye care, which is basically like a lot of people might have under eye issues, like like I said, pigmentation, dark circles, or something like it might be a puffy eyes all the while. So you can go ahead and use a simple eye care product, like the one that I use is the Belief Eye Bomb. I do not as such have any pigmentation or dark circles, but what I need is a little bit of hydration, because sometimes I tend to do a lot of eye makeup, and sometimes I do the under eye makeup as well. So when there are layers out here, sometimes due to the entire day, once we have makeup on our skin for the entire day, sometimes this part of our skin, which is normally something that we kind of avoid, the under eyes, kind of gets dry, or kind of the next day it might seem like it's puffed up or something of that sort. You can use the ice trick, which is basically taking an ice cube and rubbing on your skin, but something that I normally use for hydration is the Belief one, or the Moisturizing Eye Bomb. And you get several other brands who have these under eye creams. You can go ahead and invest in one of those, and make sure that your eyes are hydrated enough or is smooth enough. That's basically when it comes to the eye care. The next part is moisturizing your skin, which again is very important, and something that we all know when it comes to the CTM, that moisturizing is an essential part. One needs to make sure that your skin is moisturized with the right kind of product, and again, like I said, it need not be a high-end product. It should be something that suits your skin. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier, that go ahead and do a patch test first. What I use is again from Belief. This is the moisturizing balm that I use. And this actually keeps your skin hydrated throughout the day, and it makes sure that your skin is supple, which is quite important. And the last step is to protect your skin, and what I mean by that is using a sunscreen. Now, the major part, like I mentioned, that the initial where it all started from me having, a lot of pigmentation on my face, and the issues that I had is basically because I was not using a sunscreen. And sunscreen is the most important product, and that's something that's made a lot of difference on my skin. And the sunscreen that I would recommend is from Supergoop. There are other sunscreens like Innisfree, Neutrogena that's available in the market. Anything which is about 30 or 30 plus would do. That what I mean is the SPF to up to 50, that would actually go ahead and help you out. And I would say that any of these steps, like maybe you might miss on hyaluronic acid, maybe you want to miss on a vitamin C, but I would definitely ask you all not to miss on the SPF, that is the sunscreen, because it plays a very important role. Now, what I mean is, like, you might think that, if I go out, that's when I need a sunscreen. No, even if you stay indoors, these days we all are staying indoors, we are taking our Zoom calls, we've been working from home, but you miss any of the products. But I would I would highly recommend not missing on a sunscreen. That's the most important product that one needs to use. And with our skin, if there is any kind of pigmentation, it gets severe when there is a sun exposure. So that's where one needs to make sure that you actually go ahead and use a good SPF. And this is one product that I would suggest that go ahead and invest your money in. You will see the difference. You will see that how your skin is reacting, how things are getting better. To add to it, if you're adding a moisturizer, if you're adding a hyaluronic acid, or if you're adding a vitamin C, all of this would benefit. But definitely include a sunscreen in your daily routine, and this is something that you need not miss. So like we say that there is the CTM that we say that's cleanse, tone, and moisturize, but something people don't mention is to protect your skin, and that is going ahead and investing and using a sunscreen. So this is my morning routine, and if you all have any questions regarding it, please do ask me. Like, if you all need any more product recommendations, please do let me know about it. Or if you have any confusion for the products that I have mentioned. Okay. So let's proceed further, and that's the makeup routine. Now, the makeup routine that I have mentioned is basically something that you need when it comes to going ahead for a Zoom call, or sorry.
Nisha, we have questions coming in on Facebook Live, and we'll take it towards the end.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good. Yeah. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them right away, and we'll take them at the end of the call. Yeah. Now, when it comes to the makeup routine, like I mentioned, that it could be a day-to-day makeup, or something like, what do I wear when I go in for a Zoom call, or what do I do if I just have 10 minutes in hand? So that's where we have the beginner's guide. That's where we have included the as minimum as possible, the steps. First being a primer. Now, when it comes to primer is basically a barrier that you put into your skin with, before you actually go ahead and use any kind of products, like followed up like with foundation or blush or anything that you use. You basically go ahead and use a primer, so that specifically a lot of people with oily skin, they prefer using a primer. It actually forms a base on the skin. Now, initially, when I started off my makeup journey, I used to use a primer, but now I started skipping it off because, at that point in time, I did have some sebum issues, which I wanted to cover. That is, generation of excess oil, which I wanted to cover, or which I wanted to overcome. That is where I started using the primer on my T-zone, which is basically the Smashbox primer that I was using. And but like I said, over the period of time, with the right kind of products that I started using, it kind of got controlled. And then I switched on to something like a flawless filter from Charlotte Tilbury. This is basically it kind of forms a layer onto your skin before you actually go ahead and start using any other products. It helps also to highlight your skin a bit. If you're not very comfortable with something like this, you can also use a drop of facial oil. Now, do not have a misconception that if my skin is oily, I cannot use a facial oil. Nothing like that. You can definitely go ahead and use a slightest drop of facial oil before you start off with your foundation, or say the further more steps. Before you go ahead with this, you should go ahead and use maybe a drop of facial oil, or mix it with your foundation. Like I said, the first step after the skincare. Okay, before we proceed further, once you do your skincare, give it 5 minutes to settle down into your skin. Okay, give your skin to actually go ahead and absorb all the products. After 5 to 10 minutes, or if you have half an hour, that's really good. If you do not have that much of time, after 5 minutes, go start with the routine, which is basically the next step. That's use one slightest drop. I won't even say one drop, like slightest drop of a facial oil, mix it with a foundation. Okay, and go ahead and use that. Now, someone might think that I would go ahead and mix the product, but how many drops do I need? When it comes to foundation, you actually can go ahead and meet a Sephora artist, or say a person from Ulta, to understand what is your skin type. If you're aware of your skin type, like I'm aware of my skin type. My skin type is a combination skin. If you have a skin like, say, oily skin, or if you have something like a dry skin, you need to use the right kind of foundation, and you need to match it to your shade. Okay, do not go ahead and think that, I am an NC. Say I'm using a professional language, which is basically the standard language that you use in as a Mac professional artist. Like I have an NC 42 skin tone, so it's okay for me to go ahead and use an NC 40 foundation, which is basically the shade reference that I'm using here. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are an NC 42, that's your shade, go ahead with an NC 42 shade that's available in a foundation or in a powder form. Do not think that, it's okay for me to go a shade lighter. If you do that, you will see pigmentation, coming through the skin, or you will see that there is some kind of, mismatch on the skin. So, your first step is to go ahead and match your skin shade. You can take if you do not have an idea about it, take a help from a Sephora artist or from someone in Ulta. You have those facilities out here. Go ahead, speak to them, and they're so helpful that they might give you you can ask them for some testers. Like if you're confused, I'm not sure, because there is a wide range of product available. If you're confused about it, just go ahead and ask them for testers. They will give you a couple of testers. Like if you have certain brands in your mind, tell them to give you the testers of those particular brands. If you do not have an idea about it, you just let them know what's your skin tone is, or this is my skin type. They do have equipments out there where they go ahead and test your skin, and then they give you some testers. You try that out for 1 or 2 days, and then you go ahead and get the exact shade match. If you feel that it's not suiting you, or if you feel that that's not the right shade, you can go ahead and again take it from there. You can ask them for some testers. So what I use is the two-faced one. This suits perfectly for my skin. Now, like I mentioned, that I do not have a lot of pigmentation now to cover. So, I just use 1 or 2 drops of this foundation mixed up with this oil, which is basically from Flower Beauty. So there are a variety of oils available as well. There's Farsali rose gold oil. There are different brands have different oils available. So if you have any questions regarding the same, if you need any suggestions, you can definitely DM me on my Instagram. There is where I can go ahead and give you some recommendations of brands and products as well. So currently, like I mentioned, this is the one that I use. I use the slightest drop of oil along with the foundation, and the tool that I use to actually go ahead and apply it. Sometimes I'm in a hurry, so I use my fingertips, the best ones. Just make sure that it's sanitized and it's all clean. That's it. I mean, if you're not sure about how to blend it with your fingertips, the best thing that I would say is use a beauty blender. Now, this is the one that I've used right now, so it seems a little big, but it's really small. You just go ahead and dip it in water, keep it aside for like 2 or 3 minutes, and it's perfect to use. You just go ahead and use a beauty blender. Once you use a couple of drops, you just go ahead and do tapping motions on your skin and you blend it out. Sometimes you might have concerns that, oh, it's actually absorbing a lot of products. That's what it's supposed to do. Actually, it's supposed to absorb the excess product from your skin and give you an even layer on your skin. So this is what I trust, and this is what I use, and this is what I recommend for a full face of makeup. I would say, sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I do not have time to use all the tools that I have. I would go ahead and use this one magic tool, I would say. And the brand that I use is from YBP, which is an Indian brand, but you have options like you can use the blender from Real Techniques, from Eco Tools, that's available. All these brands that I'm mentioning are available at Ulta. You have Beauty Blender that is available in Sephora. Then you have, you have other brands as well that comes up with blenders. But then, the ones that I really trust and that I've used is from Real Techniques, from Eco Tools, and the Beauty Blender that's available in Sephora. And the Beauty Blender might seem a little expensive, but then trust me, this is the only one that you need to do your entire face of makeup. So, just go ahead and invest in this magic tool. So that's where, when the foundation part is being taken care of. So, you just go ahead, dab it, and make sure that it's evenly dabbed on the entire skin and it's given you an even layer. Now, if you have something like a pigmentation issue, like, someone might have an under eye issue, or someone might have a pigmentation around the mouth area. So, something like an orange corrector would help. Now, why I'm specifically mentioning orange corrector is, specifically keeping in mind my skin tone, which is a brown skin tone, but you do have, like, I understand there are different skin tones. So, if you are from a lighter skin tone, then you can use something like a peach corrector. If you have excess pigmentation, you can use a red corrector, but go ahead and use a corrector, which is nothing else but, it's basically, it's going to correct the tone of the skin. So, if you have pigmentation issues out here, and now do not go, this again is a slightest amount that you need. You do not have to go ahead and use excess, because if you use excess, it will seem like, oh, it's too orange on my skin. Just use the slightest of it. If you have issues around your mouth, maybe in your chin area, under eyes or something, then you use it. Again, it's not a mandatory step. That's why I have not mentioned here. But if you have issues, if you have excess pigmentation issue, then you can definitely use a corrector. There are a lot of hacks available online wherein you go ahead and they say that, oh, use an orange lipstick, or use an orange, or use a red lipstick underneath your foundation, and that's going to help you. Do not, go ahead and try those out. Use a proper corrector. You get correctors in brands, all the brands available, but some of them that I recommend is from MAC, the LA Pro Concealer that I use. There is something that's available with Live Tinted. So these are the correctors that I have used personally and I vouch for. And, and if you are going in for, say, a night party or something like, post your work, if you have an event or something and you want to go for a full face of makeup, then definitely use a corrector if you have any, pigmentation issues. Post that, like I mentioned, you use the foundation and oil. If you want a even looking skin, if you want something like a supple skin, definitely use an oil. Or if you feel that your foundation is doing all of it, then go for the foundation along with the tool that I've mentioned, that is the Beauty Blender. If you're not comfortable with a beauty blender, if you're not used to it, or if you feel that I need another option to a beauty blender, then you do get the foundation brush, which is something like this, which is available with any of the brands. Like, the one that I would recommend is from Real Techniques. And if you have issue, like, if you have any skin issues, like you have acne issues, then go ahead with a stippling brush, which is like this, which is, not as thick as a foundation brush. It's a stippling brush, which is basically you go ahead and you slightly dab. You don't have to irritate those acne marks, right? And you need to overcome those acne marks. So if for the initial stage, you can use something like this. The next step is, the blush and the bronzer. So there are wide range of blush that's available in each brand. There is different types of blushes that's available. Like, some brands might have powder blush, some might have cream blushes, some might have options for both the blushes. It totally depends on what you like. I mean, if you like something like a powdered effect, you can go ahead with the powder blush. If you like something like that needs to blend in, and you need the cheeks, that's, the sun-kissed cheeks, like summer is coming. So, if you need something like that, then you can go in with a cream blush if you're comfortable with. So the one that I recommend when it comes to cream blushes is the Tower 28. This is available in Sephora. It's a beautiful, beautiful blush. You just need a teeny tiny amount. And like I said, like, the only tool that you need probably with a cream brush is the beauty blender. Just go ahead, dab it on your skin. That's what you need. That's all you need when it comes to a cream blush. Then the next product that I would suggest if you want to go ahead with a powder blush is probably one from MAC or Tarte or Becca. Any of these brands will have, they do have good blushes. You just go ahead, take them, and if you have a tool, which is again from Real Techniques, this is a powder blush that you have, or a blush brush, or this brush would be enough. Just dab it and just put it on your cheeks. Light motions would do. That's what you need. Then the next step, okay, before we get into eye makeup, something that I missed out over here is doing your eyebrows. That's very important. We might feel that we just go ahead and shape our brows and that's enough. No, we do have sparse areas due to which our eyebrows might not seem as as sorted, or as lean. The shape might be a little different. So something that you can invest in is a brow pencil. If you're a beginner, I would not suggest like a brow pomade. Like that's something that is a little difficult, that needs a little bit of practice. So something like a pencil would do. I mean, this is something that I even though like I go ahead and do different kind of looks, this is something that I constantly use. It comes like, it's a pencil form. You just go ahead and fill in the sparse areas of your brows. And if you want to shape your brows, like sometimes the brows might not, I mean, different brows might have different shapes. Like this might be a little sharp and this might be a little straight. If you want to just make sure that they look even, you just go ahead and use this product. You might, if you want to know what are the sparse areas of your brows, where exactly you need to fill in, you need this brush. You can just brush through, and then you can use the pencil side of it and make sure that it's filled in. And this definitely makes a difference. I mean, I used to not use this initially. I used to feel that this is just an excess step or something of that sort, but it definitely makes a lot of difference, and it requires practice. Initially, you might feel that, oh, it's going a little haywire, or it doesn't seem that blended, or it looks too stark or something of that sort, or it looks thick. But don't worry, as in when you practice, you can shape it up. And then this one side is definitely useful to actually go ahead and blend the excess part of it. So this is one technique when it comes to, when you start off with the eye makeup, this is one thing that you need to definitely do. Someone might prefer doing an eye makeup before going ahead with your base. That's totally up to you. You can either do your base and do your eye makeup, or if you feel that you're not confident, you might spill the eyeshadows and something of that sort, then you can go ahead and do your eye makeup and then clear your face and then go ahead and start off with the base. For the eye makeup, when it comes to day-to-day makeup, obviously we do not have that much amount of time to actually sit and blend and actually go ahead and do a lot of techniques and something of that sort. So if you still feel that I need a eye shade, or I just need some color or some basic thing on my eyes, so you can use something like a small palette like this, like a Huda Beauty palette. You can take any of the shades that you like. I mean, I prefer going, if you ask me for my day-to-day, I prefer going with any of these light toned ones, and I just take it and I just use it with a blending brush. This is the only brush that I use, which is a blending brush. Like I mentioned, Real Techniques does have our beginners eye kit. You can go ahead and invest in that. You can just go ahead and use one of this brush and any of these colors. And again, like the colors depends upon your choice. I mean, need not be like the earthy tones. If you want to go ahead with fun colors, you can go ahead and do fun colors. But when it comes to a quick eye makeup routine, you can just use one shade. If you have time, and if you feel that you can go ahead and blend two to three different shades, well, as you can definitely go ahead and do that. Like I said, it's a whole different subject. We cannot cover eye makeup in say a span of 10-15 minutes. That's why I just mentioned that you can go ahead with one shade. And if you feel that the powdered ones are too hectic for you, you cannot go ahead and do a powder routine or something, you can definitely go ahead and invest in pencils as such. These are from Nude Sticks. These pencils are very easy to use. You just take it up, you just glide it on, take a brush, and then just blend it. That's it. I mean, these are very easy to use. These are available in Sephora, in Ulta. You can just go ahead, or you can go ahead and use it, for your day-to-day makeup. I mean, you need not go ahead and use a powdered one. This will stay the entire day long, and it comes in variety of colors. Whatever color you want to invest in, you can go ahead and do that. And if you feel that, oh, I do not have time for, it's too hectic for me to actually go ahead and apply eyeshadow, I don't need something of that sort, then you can use simple black kohl pencil. You can just line your eyes, and that's it, you're done. Like, you can go ahead and line your eyes, or you can go ahead and line your upper lash area, or if you want to draw a wink, you can go ahead and do that. I mean, that's it. I mean, you do not need to do a lot of eye makeup when it comes to the day-to-day. If you do not have that much amount of time, this would sort it out. And if you feel that you do not even need, you don't even have time for this, then I would just suggest that go with a mascara, just to make sure that the lashes are proper. This is you have different mascaras available. They all are good from different brands. You have the ones from Too Faced, which is a very famous one. You have Essence. The Essence brand has one of it. I mean, there are different brands actually. I mean, depending on whether you want long lashes, whether you want thickness, whether you want the fluttery ones, or depending on that, you can just go ahead and invest in a good mascara, and you can use it. I mean, that's as simple as that. I mean, if you don't want to go ahead and do a lot of eye makeup, you can stick to this, and that's it. Then the next step is, definitely going ahead and making sure that everything stays on place. You need to use a powder. I mean, once you've applied your blush, or once you've applied your bronzer. Now, bronzer is very different from contouring. A lot of people feel that, if you need to do a lot of contouring on your cheeks and everything, that's only when you do a full face of, heavy makeup or something, that I would suggest contouring. Contouring is not needed when it comes to a day-to-day, or, when you're taking calls on Zoom and things like that. For a day-to-day, you can use a bronzer. Bronzer is again to add shadow to your face. This is the one that I use, which is the Becca one, and it's as simple as going ahead and giving shade to the face. I mean, you use either a powder brush, or you have bronzer brushes or contouring brushes that's available. Just take a dab of it and just stipple it around. That's it, and that's just to give a shade to your face. And it's not a mandate, but if you feel that you need some kind of shape and some warmth on your skin, because sometimes it it might happen that, your skin might look too rosy or too pinkish when, after you apply the blush and you have sorted it out, you feel that you need some kind of warmth on your skin, you use a bronzer. And again, like I said, if you need any recommendations, please do DM me on my Instagram, and I would be able to help you out with it. So that's when it comes to the bronzer part. And then you go ahead and apply your powder. I'm sorry, I did not carry my powder here. That the one that I use is a Charlotte Tilbury one, or you can use a MAC powder. I mean, that's available. Again, please stick to your skin tone. Do not go lighter or do not go excessively darker than your skin tone. Please make sure that when you're doing makeup, the only one thing that you need to keep in mind is your skin tone, because sometimes people tend to use wrong kind of products, and sometimes people might use wrong shades, So just go ahead and use the right shade. And last but not the second last, we have the lipstick. Again, something that a lot of people ask for, like, what shade do you use, or what is the right lipstick. So I have a couple of recommendations out here. So these are my favorite brands. Now I'm not going to go into the details of shades and all, because shades do differ. But if you need something like a pigmented one and something that lasts you long, you can invest in a Lisa Eldridge lipstick. If you feel that, Lisa Eldridge is something that's only available when she actually goes ahead and launches, and it's something that you go ahead and get it from our website. It's if it's tough for you, you can get something like an Anastasia one, which is a bullet lipstick. Again, it stays all day long. The shades, up to you what shades you like. Like someone might like something like pink tone, someone might like a brown tone, someone might like a little darker one, someone might like nude lipstick. So depending on that, you have variety of shades available. You can go ahead and invest in one of those. Another one that I would suggest that lasts day long is the Charlotte Tilbury one, and that's very comfortable, very it looks quite natural. It's not stuck on your lips, and it stays day long. And if you feel like you are someone who can handle liquid lipstick, then you either the Dose of Colors or the Anastasia one. There are a lot of other brands that's available, and I have a separate section on my Insta page wherein I have recommended lipsticks. You can, if you want, you can just go ahead and click on that. Even if you don't want to DM me, you can just go ahead, check on the shades, and it's available there. You can go ahead and see those, and the brand name, the shade name, everything is mentioned out there. So I feel that when it comes to day-to-day thing, or if it's work related, using something like a Charlotte Tilbury or using a MAC lipstick is fair enough. These are comfortable ones, and they stay the entire day long on your lips. And if you want a quick hack, like you don't want to use lipstick or something of that sort, you can even use lip liners, the Huda Beauty one or the Charlotte Tilbury one. These are my favorite lip lip pencils. They are quite comfortable. You can just apply it, and that's it. Sometimes you might not find the right shade in your lipstick, but you might find it in pencil form. So you can go ahead and use these as well. They're quite easy to use, and they last a long time. And again, there are a lot of brands that's available, that's there, who have real good lipsticks. You can go ahead and invest in one of those, and that which is available in the market. And if you need recommendations, like I mentioned, please go ahead, feel free to DM me. I will definitely make sure that I help you out with to find out the right shade, or to find out something that definitely suits you. And to end it up, to make sure that your makeup stays on your face day long, is a makeup fixer. This is from MAC, the makeup fixer. So this is for just going ahead and making sure that you the entire application of foundation and blush and everything stays in place. That's where you end up your that's where you end the makeup thing, like the routine. That's what I do, and that's what I would suggest a beginner to start off with. I mean, that's as simple as that. This will last you for say 6 to 7 months, and it's just you spritz it off. Initially, when you use, you might feel that, oh my God, it's too wet, and what if my entire makeup just flows off or something like that? That's not going to happen. It's a makeup fixer. It's just going to fix, and it's just going to make your makeup last long. One important thing is, like, sometimes people do like to highlight their face, like, the high points of their cheeks, or, the nose or something. Instead of going ahead for a powder version, you can just go ahead and use something like a cream one. This is from Nude Sticks. You just take it on your fingertip and you can just apply it. Like if you feel that, these are the areas that you need to highlight or something. This is not a mandatory step, but if you feel you want to do it, you can definitely go ahead and do that. And that's where the makeup routine ends. I know it was a little long, and I hope that's been helpful. And if you have any questions, please do ask away right away. Then we switch to the evening routine. The evening routine might be, almost similar to the morning routine, except for a few steps that we change. First is to pre-cleanse. Now, when it comes to when you are sitting with your entire face of makeup, or even let's say you have just used just a foundation, or you've just used powder products and that's it, but please make sure that you pre-cleanse. A lot of people, what they think is that, oh, I'm done with I'm done with my day, what I need to do is use a simple face wash and the entire makeup would go away. No, you will see that there is coal, there is a leftover coal, or probably there is some leftovers that you would not be able to see maybe on your mirror or something of that sort. So it's very important to go ahead and pre-cleanse and to remove that makeup from your skin. So the best thing that I would suggest is going ahead and taking off with a makeup remover, like the clinic one, or there is balms available. So what you need to do, if you are someone who doesn't have the patience to actually go ahead and remove the entire makeup, like one by one, just take some balm to your on your hands, just rub it on your skin, and take a washcloth, which is soaked into water, like warm water. Just apply it on your skin, like it would give you that warmth, and just rub it off. That's it. That's what you need to do to make sure that you pre-cleanse, and you neatly clean everything off. Just make sure that everything comes off. And again, do not stop there. You need to go ahead and follow it up with a cleansing. That's you need to wash away any remaining product. That's using a simple cleanser. Like I mentioned earlier, you did not go ahead and invest into a high-end one. What cleanser does is it removes the excess amount of makeup or any product that's there on your skin. You need not go ahead and think that, oh, this is a high-end one, I will use something with a lot of ingredients in it. No, nothing like that works, because at the end of it, it's not going to sit on your skin. You're obviously going to wash it off, so it's going to go away. So just use a simple, either a mild cleanser depending on your skin condition, or maybe if you are like having a normal skin, if everything is normal, like just go ahead with a simple one, like the Cetaphil one is available, or the Clean and Clear is available. Any of those, you can just, the Neutrogena, any of those, just go ahead and use that. Simple, keep it very simple. Then the next step that you need to do is correct your skin, like using any kind of serum, which is specifically for any skin issue that you have. Right now what I'm using is to the worst one to firm the skin. That's the one that I'm using. But if you have something like pigmentation, you can go ahead and use something for that. If you want to use any retinols that you feel is important. Now when it comes to retinol, it's a deep subject. I cannot just go ahead and say that, oh, start using a retinol if you want to, if you want to work your fine lines or, any such issues. You need to study a little bit which retinol with what percentage works for you. We can definitely discuss on the same in detail. But like I said, if you're using any such serums, make sure this after cleansing, you go ahead and use that serum. Someone might use like niacinamide, or someone might prefer like retinol, like I mentioned. Or if you're not using any such serums, you do not want to, there is no such issue to be addressed, you can like use a hyaluronic acid and that's it, like you're done with it. Or any simple hydrating serum that you want to use. And if you want to completely avoid this step, you can again do it. If you do not have any such issues, do not dig upon, oh, let me see if I need, let me go ahead and see if there is a concern and then use something unnecessarily. So do not enter into that. If you feel that there is an issue that you need to address, either you can discuss it with a particular brand or with someone who has some amount of knowledge about it, or like I mentioned, retinol is a completely deep subject. If you need to discuss about that, we can do that, and you just go ahead and or else you switch into something like a hyaluronic acid. And the next thing is like going ahead and hydrating your eyes. Like I mentioned, I keep on saying that this is one part which is an ignored part, which we do not pay attention. We feel that, oh, we've applied a moisturizer and we are done, we've taken care of our eyes. Nothing like that. You just go ahead and take if you have a specified treatment for it, you go ahead and use that. Or else if you are not sure, if you just want to make sure that your eyes are hydrated enough, like I said, the moisture balm would do it. Just go ahead and apply or dab it. That's it. Do not use too much pressure. Just go in circular motions and you're done. And one point that I'm missing over here is like a toner, like either, after your cleansing step, you can either use a toner like this, or you can go ahead and use a toner, which is basically a glycolic acid. Now, glycolic acid, again, do not get intimidated. Do not feel like, oh my God, it sounds pretty technical. Nothing like that. It's just a exfoliant. You can use it twice or thrice a week. It does nothing else, but it physically exfoliates your skin. So it's really helpful with, like I mentioned, this is one other product apart from the SPF that's helped me to overcome the pigmentation issue. So you can go ahead and use a glycolic acid. You can just take a cotton pad. And, I do not suggest using a glycolic acid directly, on your hands and, applying it on your skin. I do not suggest that. Use a cotton pad, and just a thin layer would do. That's it. So like I mentioned, it's a physical exfoliant, and you can use it 2 to 3 times a week. That's it. And post glycolic acid, like I mentioned, you can use any of the serums, your eye treatment, and then your moisturizer. I've explained you earlier what exactly the moisturizer does. So, and then last but not the least, use a hydrating oil. Now, you need to allow your skin to recover from, like a lot of people say that, oh, applying a makeup does a lot of damage to our skin, or applying makeup is like, it will create a lot of skin issues. Nothing like that. Applying makeup is just enhancing your features, or enhancing your the features that you have on your face. Like, it's nothing, it's not going to do you any harm, because these days products, they are launched into the market with a lot of research. So it's not going to do any harm. Sometimes some products might not suit you. That's a different topic altogether. But what you need to also do is, along with makeup, you need to take care of your skin. And if you take care of your skin, you will not face any such issues, even if you apply makeup daily. So you need to allow your skin to recover from the entire day's tiredness, or so what you can do is use a hydrating oil. Now, again, like I said, it's a myth that someone with oily skin cannot use oils. So just go ahead and use oil like that's available in the market, like from the Ordinary brand. There are quite a few oils that's there. And what I personally use is from YBP. This is the plant remedy that I use, which is a mix of essential oils. You go ahead and you make sure that at the last step of your skincare should be using an oil, so that your skin stays supple, and it's given enough time for your skin to go ahead and let it get into the deeper layers and let it work on your skin. So it should be helpful. And of course, one more step which you should not forget is a lip mask, because like I mentioned that our lips, they go through a lot when it comes to applying lipsticks, because those are sometimes a little harsh, like if you apply a liquid lipstick, or sometimes if you apply a matte lipstick, so it might seem a little harsh. So use a lip mask. All of this will work throughout the night on your skin, and the next day you wake up with a good skin. So let all of this work on your skin, give it some time, and make sure that the nighttime routine is something that you follow diligently. Give yourself that 5 to 10 minutes every day to make sure that you follow the skincare routine. So yeah. So, okay, here is a slide where that mentioned the consultation, just in case if you need to, have a one-on-one with me. Now, this is very different from the DMs. Like if you want to DM me about a certain product, about a certain brand, you can definitely do that anytime, because you guys you guys can actually go ahead and give me a follow and then, just DM me across. Or else if you need a one-on-one consultation, you can definitely mail me or DM me. And, if we go ahead with a one-on-one, then that's what it's mentioned out here. And that's exclusively for the VR Pistachio members. So if you have any questions, I think this is the right time to go ahead and address them.
We have a whole bunch of questions, Nisha.
Okay. I hope we finished on. Okay.
Yeah. So we are in fact just right out of time, but let's take a few questions. One is from Christine, and she says that, do you find that wearing a mask these days makes any changes to your skin?
Okay. So some people they do face the acne issues, which actually they technically called as the maskne, which is basically when you wear a mask or something. I have not faced any issues as such personally, but if you feel that that material or something is not suiting you, if you feel that this is the area that's getting affected, you can change the mask. Actually, go ahead and change it, and if just let your skin rest. I mean, sometimes there is no hurry in going ahead and getting a lot of products. Like you feel that, you just need to give your skin some time, let it settle down, and then, but yeah, if you're facing an issue with a particular mask or something, then go ahead and switch the material. Maybe the material is not suiting you. Maybe switch into something like a cotton or a linen material. That should be helpful.
Okay. We have another question from one of our viewers on Facebook, and she wants to know whether you need to use sunscreen in Seattle, even only in the summer months or even otherwise.
In Seattle, wherever you are, summer, winter, spring, any season, even if you're staying indoors, please use a sunscreen. I will say this has to be a daily routine, 365 days a year. I mean, I will never say I would say that do not skip this at any cost. It's not about Seattle. It's not about any other area. It's like you have to wear this every day. That's it. Okay. Just like in the morning you wake up and you cleanse your skin, this has to go with your routine. Yeah, that makes a lot of difference.
Okay. We have another question from Supriya, who wants to know any face mask or sheet mask that you would recommend, and how should we use it?
Yeah, face mask. Like I would say that go ahead and if you can use something like that's available with Neutrogena or something of that. So actually, face mask. There's an issue that's going on that these are environmentally it's not that great. So that's the reason a lot of people are asking to avoid. But if you feel that you want some hydration and you need to use a mask or something of that sort, you can use a sheet mask that's available with Neutrogena or Innisfree. You can apply that. It will just give you an instant boost of hydration. But let me tell you, it's not going to last a long time. It's not going to stay on your skin for a long time. You will see that difference for say 10-15 minutes. Now this is in specific for sheet mask. So if you're using a sheet mask, it will stay on your skin and it will show effect for 10-15 minutes, and that's it. Then it will soak in the the products and things like that. But I will say that rather than that, using some homemade homemade mask would be good. And if you don't feel that you want any homemade mask, you can go ahead and buy it from the market. You can get it from Ulta or from any other drugstore. You can get a mask and you can go ahead and apply that. And see, actually masks are something that will give you an instant boost. I mean, it's not going to stay on your skin, or it's not going to get into your skin for because you're just going to keep it for 10-15 minutes. So it's just an instant boost. So rather than that, I would definitely suggest using oils and using creams ingredients and something that will actually sit on your skin for longer time and work on your skin. And for the instant boost, like I mentioned, that you can go ahead and use a mud mask or any of those masks that's available. So you can definitely go ahead and do that. Yeah.
Sure. We have another question, and this is probably one of the last questions that we'll take. It's from Manasi, and she wants to know, her skin is oily, and she wants to know how to use a moisturizer plus a sunscreen, because that makes her skin very, very oily and gives a lot of pimples.
Okay, so one thing that you need to understand is whether the product is suiting you. If it's giving you pimples, then probably the ingredients in the product is not suiting you. So you might have to switch the brand. Now, when it comes to the quantity, like how much are you going to use? If you feel that your skin is like too oily, so you might use something like the moisturizer, which is suitable for oily skin, which means it's not going to be, it's something that will not be, very oily or very sticky. I mean, what I mean to say is use a water-based product. So, it's not going to grease your skin. And when it comes to sunscreen, again, see, usually I say, use a good amount of sunscreen, but again, like I mentioned, if you go ahead and read it through, that if it's for dry skin or if it's for oily skin, like you mentioned, it's for your skin is the skin is oily, so go ahead, that's suitable for the oily skin. So like I mentioned, it would be more water based, and it should not give you that greasy effect. And there are some brands which which give you a white cast, or like you mentioned, that which is too oily for the skin. I would say that switch brands and use something like a Supergoop. This is a brand that's available on Sephora. Like, you have different, if it's available for different skin types as well. And then water-based is the one that will be definitely suitable for her. And if you have further questions and recommendations that you need from my end, please go ahead and DM me, so I can like actually give you, some brands that you can go ahead and, invest in. Yeah.
Thank you. We had another question from Vedanti, where she wanted the links to all the products. Vedanti, Nisha's already said that you could DM her and she will be able to recommend the right products for you. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, like if you go ahead and DM me, I can give you the links and you can easily go ahead and get them. And like I said, most of them are something that's, that you need to definitely go ahead and test in yourself. So, you need to give that amount of time and you need to use them and understand whether it's actually, suiting your skin or not. Yeah. Yeah. So just DM me and I will give you the list of products that I have mentioned. So it will be easy for you to just go ahead and, look into those. Yeah.
Yeah, so with that, we are like almost 6 minutes over time. I just wanted to, quickly take everybody through the upcoming events so that you could be a part of the event and you could register for the events. We have how to create wealth when you don't have a job. This event is being led by Deep. Deep herself is an entrepreneur. She's a tech leader, and she's going to kind of, lead this event for us. That's on 31st of March, 4 p.m. Isha, who's a volunteer who takes care of all the events for us, is on this call as well. And she's going to post the link so that you could register for the event now. The next event also coming up is yoga and mindfulness. This is with Vinita. And this would be on 19th of April. So please feel free to register for both these events. Both these events are free. And for the ones who want to stay in touch with us at VR Pistachio, these are our social media handles. Write an email to us if you need to know something, if you're an expert and want to lead us expert-led event for us, or simply want to connect with us. We would love to hear from you. And I think with that, we have come to the end of this session. Thank you so much, Nisha. I'm sure, just one event will not do justice to the wide topic you need to cover. Like you said, just eye makeup could be a completely, an event in itself.
Yeah, very true.
For me, I think for me, the biggest takeaway was that in Seattle, you need to use sunscreen, because I don't think I have touched my sunscreen ever since I moved to Seattle.
No, you should, you should. I mean, like I said, like a lot of people, this is the biggest myth that, oh, forget about staying in Seattle. A lot of people think, oh, staying indoors, we don't need sunscreen. Like, when you stay indoors, you don't need sunscreen because, there is no exposure to sun. I'm all covered and all of it. No, that's the biggest myth. And I would say that, there are days that, I might skip some of my steps. I might be not in a mood to go through all the steps and everything, but I will never skip the sunscreen. Even if I do want to apply a cream on my skin, it's okay. But sunscreen is a mandate. And investing in a good sunscreen is something that I will suggest everyone to do. I mean, do not compromise on that. You want to compromise on your makeup products, go ahead, do that. I mean, it's okay. If you want to skip steps, do that, but do not compromise on the sunscreen. That's the most important thing. Like I said, I can go on for a sunscreen. The topic can go on for half an hour on the importance of sunscreen, but yes, you need to go ahead and use that. Yeah.
Thank you for that, and thank you for leading this wonderful session, Nisha.
Thank you so much. And
at least personally, I think I have learned a lot, and I'm sure all of us on this call have. Thank you, Isha, for coordinating this entire event.
Thank you, Isha.
There's a lot of hard work that goes into the background when we create these events. And thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time out and attending this. We've gone like 10 minutes over, so but there was so much information to be shared, and I'm sure it was a Friday evening well spent for everyone. So thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you.